All right, welcome everybody back to Island Time with Kurtis and Sean. It is, this is podcast number 3 now.
Yeah. Yet to release any yet, but
Yeah.
today will be the first day.
Yeah, we're gonna release tonight. We're gonna get it on Spotify, get it on YouTube probably.
Actually, the place I uploaded to, they will automatically distribute to all platforms.
Oh,
so,
what?
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that shebang.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so it's nice. And then we'll have clips on YouTube and Instagram Reels probably. Maybe
Yeah.
TikTok as well. So, yeah, looking forward to that. So today I think we're going to talk about something very interesting. NBA trade deadline just happened. So, yeah, Shawnee, give it to us.
That was today. I think at 12 o'clock today was the trade deadline, or maybe it was yesterday. I forget exactly. But I have here's a recap of all the reported deals that have occurred today. Yeah, so one of the huge ones, we'll start off right away.
Yeah.
KD.
Yeah,
KD is like, that was so, I didn't know if they were going to do that. Brooklyn was going to trade Kevin Durant. I saw like Kyrie leaving, but I did not see KD leaving. But basically what happened was Kevin Durant was traded to the Phoenix Suns in return for, I think, Jay Crowder.
Cam Johnson.
Yeah, and then 4 first round picks, which is like, if you're a sports fan at all, whether it's hockey or basketball, whatever it is, you know that is a huge deal. You're basically for all those people that aren't into sports, a first round pick means when you do your draft to pick all the players, for the new players to come into the league, there's rounds to it, and the first round picks are going to be the best guys. So basically, when you give up a first round pick, you're giving away a future star potentially.
Yep.
So that's like a huge deal in the NBA community for sure. So the Suns got rid of 4 first round picks for Kevin Durant, which, I mean, it's Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Like, I would trade probably a lot of things for KD.
Yeah.
They're looking for a championship now.
Yeah.
They're looking for a championship this year or next year.
Yeah.
They don't care about the future at this point. They got Devin Booker, they got Chris Paul. I think they still have DeAndre Ayton, and they have KD now. And that's a big 4.
Oh, yeah, man.
KD just adds to that threat. Like, now if KD's on that team, like, Devin Booker opens up a lot.
Yep.
Now this guy can start hitting threes. Like, you have to help on defense on Kevin Durant. Like, there's nothing you can do. You have to help out.
It's a tough team to guard for sure.
Yeah.
And they got height for days.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. It's CP3's getting older now too. And if he wants to win, this is the roster to do it.
Yeah.
Phoenix has been looking good the past few years, and they've blown it.
Yeah.
They can't beat Luka, man. We'll see if they can do it this year.
Yeah. This was the trade exactly. So Suns receive Kevin Durant and TJ Warren. That's all they got. Nets receive Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, Juan Pablo, 2023 first round pick, 2025 first round pick, 2027 first round pick, 2028 first round pick swap, 2028 second round pick, 2029 first round pick, and a 2029 second round pick. So, and that's all the things that the Nets received. This was a 3 trade deal basically. The Bucks got Jay Crowder out of this trade from the Suns, and the Pacers also got they got George Hill, who I believe is playing for the Bucks, Serge Ibaka, Jordan Nwora, and 3 future second round picks from Milwaukee.
Wow.
Insane
Nuts.
trade.
Yeah. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, damn. Like, this year's playoffs is going to be one of the best ever. It should be on paper.
Yeah, like, the way this just completely shifted the entire conferences. Like, if you think about it, like, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving also just got traded to the Dallas Mavericks. So now he's playing with Luka. But if you think about it, man, this has completely shifted any power. Well, not any power, but a lot of the power in the East to the West. Now you just made 2 teams just that were already had foundations to be a good team, just made them, just upgraded them.
Yeah.
You know, you got the Phoenix Suns. I don't know if they have much depth. I don't know what their depth is like, but you got Phoenix Suns who just got Kevin Durant, huge thing. Now Kyrie Irving is in the West as well. So the West is looking like that's the conference to beat.
It's crazy, man. And, the Warriors are always in it too.
Of course.
And I don't know if LeBron's going to be able to make playoffs this year.
Doubt it.
It's not looking likely. They also just traded.
They got rid of Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
He went to Utah. And then they got D'Angelo Russell back, which I think is good.
Yep.
I think D'Lo is I think he's a good player. I think he's got potential. He still has to prove to us.
Yeah.
So I think D'Lo's sick. What else did they get? Lakers. Oh yeah, Mo Bamba.
Yeah.
Mo Bamba's now on the Lakers.
Crazy.
Pat Bev's gone.
Yeah, that's nuts. I did not expect that. I thought Pat Bev was sticking around.
Did you see what Pat Bev tweeted?
No.
He was he tweeted something like, "Got the gang back together," when D'Lo came to the Lakers.
Yeah.
And then he was traded the next day.
That's funny because he was on Minnesota, right?
Pat Bev?
Yeah.
Or no. Oh, well, Pat Bev, yeah, he was on Minnesota. He was also on Houston. And what other team was he on? Because I remember I hated Pat Bev for a long time because he was on Houston when the Warriors were playing them. And he would just go after Steph. And I obviously just loved fucking Steph. And I was like, no, I hate this guy.
Yeah.
I respect him though, for his hustle and shit. But
yeah.
Mo Bamba is now on there. And the Magic got Pat Bev, so
I don't know, man. I'm kind of rooting for LeBron though. The guy's a legend. He just passed the most points of all time.
Yeah.
So it would suck to not see him in playoffs this year.
I know, man.
But if the Lakers, the Warriors, the Suns, and the Mavs are all in the playoffs, that's a good Western Conference. Mm-hmm. That's some fun times. The East is looking a lot weaker. Are the Bucks in the East?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Bucks are still there. They're strong. Always will be.
Yeah.
With Giannis. The Nets are done. They won't make playoffs.
No, dude, I saw this hilarious meme. Have you ever seen The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah. Just clips. I haven't watched the show, but
there's that one scene of it's near the end. It's when I think it's the last episode when Will's when the house is empty and they're moving out.
Yep.
And Will's alone in his room, or in the living room, and he's just kind of pacing back and forth. And what they did is they put Ben Simmons' face on Will Smith, and they were when Ben Simmons woke up this morning, and it's him just looking around the room, just scratching his head, just completely alone now.
I used to have KD and Kyrie. Now I have nobody.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's unfortunate what happened with James Harden, KD, and Kyrie. I honestly wanted to see more from them. I think they only played 10 games together because there was some injuries and then some COVID nonsense and stuff with not allowing Kyrie to play. But I think they only had 10 total games that they played together as a trio.
Yeah.
And that was it's probably one of the most disappointing.
That was the most anticipated trio of all time.
Oh, for sure.
You got 2 MVPs and Kyrie Irving, who's, I think he's been, has he been a finals MVP? No, obviously LeBron won finals.
Yeah.
But regardless, the guy's unreal.
Oh, for sure.
All-star.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of crazy, man.
Yeah.
But
we'll see what happens. But I didn't think about that. What you said is very interesting, that all these players moved to the West. That's crazy.
Yep. Yeah. The West is the force to be reckoned with, man.
Watch Giannis just take it this year.
You know what, dude? If Giannis takes it, we gotta
down.
Consider him to be the best big man of all time. I think he might be. If you think about it, he's not even 30 years old. If he wins this year, he'll have 2 championships. He'll have 2 MVPs. Always in the run for MVP. If he somehow snakes it from Jokic this year, being the 3rd MVP. But it's the 2 critical things could happen right now. If Jokic wins 3 MVPs in a row, we got to also consider him as maybe the best big man of all time. It's
true.
A wild time. This is and then LeBron obviously just passed Kareem for the most points. So we already know, that conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
Who may be the GOAT.
Yeah.
We may be witnessing the GOAT right now.
Yeah.
Some people 100% agree with that. Some people disagree. But you look at the guy's stat line, his career, my entire high school career, grade 8 to 12, there LeBron was in the finals every single year.
That's nuts.
He
And
went
he was
to
on
the-
Cleveland, right? Or was that Miami?
Cleveland, Miami, mixture between all of them. He went to the finals 9 years straight. 9 years straight. He took his team to the finals.
Insane.
So, yeah, like this, and now he has the most points in NBA history. He's up there for assists. He's like number 4, number 3, or whatever. I bet you he's probably up there for rebounds too. When you have a career that long, you're bound to have a lot of rebounds.
Yo, let's do something fun. Let's make some predictions because we're on the pod and we can watch this later. So, what's your final 4 this year? 2 on the West, 2 on the East.
2 on the West. Man, everything just got shook on the West. I'm just like...
I'll give you my East picks. They're obvious for me. I think it's the Bucks and Boston.
Me too. I would say those two as well.
But the West is tough.
The East is kind of like both those teams are consistently good. Like they've always got good. Like I think that's the Eastern Conference for sure.
Yeah.
The West is a really hard one, man. The West is really, really hard. I always want the Warriors in there. They're super entertaining. I love watching the Warriors in the finals.
And they change in playoffs too. Like it doesn't matter what the regular season happens. These guys are vets. Like in playoffs,
I don't know what their season is like so far. I mean, I've been following them a bit, but I don't think it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, man, really depends on how Kyrie does, but I want to see the Mavs in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh heck yeah!
I mean, the most entertaining, I think, East or Western Conference Finals would be Mavs Suns right now.
Oh, that'd be
insane.
amazing. Yeah, that would be amazing. Like to see KD play Kyrie.
Yeah,
in the Western Finals
in the same season that they were on the same team.
But is that your prediction though? I want that to happen, but I don't know if that will happen.
We'll see what happens. I could see Phoenix getting to the Eastern Conference or Western Conference now that they've done this, because they needed something more. They needed one more thing.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem like they traded their depth. They traded all their picks, but it didn't seem like they traded their depth.
No.
Brooklyn now is going on a rebuild. You can tell that right now. They've got a good rebuild coming up.
Yeah.
But Phoenix is now, they didn't trade away, like, I don't know how their bench is, but they didn't trade away any of their like key players. Like Jay Crowder's gone. That sucks. But they just got KD.
Yeah.
So that changes everything. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say, I mean, you could even say that like Denver, they could be in there.
Yep.
Like Jokic, you know?
I feel like Denver doesn't have that depth though. Like they have Jokic, but like I feel like they need to trade for some more pieces before they're a conference finals team.
They got Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about on the East? What's your wild card pick on the East? Mine's really interesting. It's Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland's good.
Also,
Cleveland's
on the West,
fun to watch.
My wild card is Memphis.
Memphis, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Sacramento.
True. This year, somehow.
Dude, they're amazing to watch. That's a fun team to watch.
It's true. So is that your wild card?
Game. Always a hype game. That city has yet to see a championship.
As it should be. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is my picks. On the East, Boston Bucks with the wild card being Cleveland. On the West, Mavs, Phoenix, wild card being probably the Warriors.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see Memphis winning.
Yeah,
I don't see Memphis winning, but
they're
a really good team, man.
Fun to watch for sure.
They're a really good team. Like they've got some great players. I just don't see them winning the championship. The team that I want most to win this year is this team right here.
I love the Mavs too.
I want that guy right there to get a championship.
Yeah.
I want Luka Doncic to get a championship this year.
Yo, this is a good roster, man. Mark Cuban's pulling it together. We'll see what happens. And they haven't traded away like a lot of depth and stuff. Like it was a good trade. So we'll see. If they don't get it this year, they're still in the running. Like it's not like I feel like the Suns are like all in.
Yeah.
Like next 2 years, max, and then they're done. Yeah, CP3 is getting up there, so he needs his ring if he's going to get it. We'll see what happens. And then this Sunday, we got Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, baby.
I'm excited for that. What's your pick?
Yeah, I've been saying Philly. I have this girl at work. She she's predicting something that for some reason I have a feeling could happen as well. But Philly's up the entire game, and right at the end, Kansas City just comes back and wins the game in the fourth quarter, just scoops it away.
Yep.
And for some reason, I feel like that could happen. But I think Philly takes this game.
I think so too. The reason is Patty Mahomes is not 100%. Like he's had that foot injury or ankle injury.
Yeah.
And he's such a mobile quarterback. Like having no mobility is a big deal for him. Like he can win games just off his mobility. So if he's not 100% health, or at least like 90%, it could be tough for them to pull it out, especially against such a good team like the Eagles. So if I was betting, I would bet on the Eagles to win. Mm-hmm. But I can see what you're saying happening.
Yeah. It's also crazy that the Kelsey bros are playing together.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah. Well, let's take a real quick break.
Yeah.
Just check something in the oven, and then
got some
let's come
food
back,
brewing,
and
so
we'll get some Super Bowl talk going again.
You bet. Okay.
Cool.
See you all soon. What's up, yo?
Okay, we're back, and in that time that we've been gone, I just saw this post. The Raptors had discussions with the Bucks involving Fred VanVleet, Grayson Allen, and a future first-round pick.
Wow.
That's big news for the Raps.
Wait, isn't trade deadline over, though?
Yeah, I don't know. A couple of trade deadline tidbits involving. So this was conversations
they never went through.
It never went through.
Crazy.
Wild.
What do you take
how
that? Who
works.
wins that?
Well, I mean, getting Grayson Allen, I just don't fucking like Grayson Allen.
Who
I
does?
just don't like that guy. But like realistically, we would win that trade if we got rid of Freddie and got Grayson Allen and then other picks.
Yeah.
Young
I
people.
think so too.
But like, I don't know.
The picks is what you want.
Yeah, at this point, like Raptors are probably gonna try and do a rebuild around Scotty Barnes. That's what they should do.
Oh, for sure. Scotty. Nice.
Yeah, they should build around him.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, dog.
Cool. Yeah, I guess we're gonna go on to convos and cocktails. Boom. Segment thing comes up here. We got to edit that in eventually.
Yep.
I don't think we're gonna do it for these first podcasts, but eventually it's gonna be like boom.
Yep.
Pops up. We would like to have like a neon sign up here that says Island Time.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Now that we have a name, we can actually do it.
Yeah.
Etsy has some great like people that will make that stuff.
Yep.
So maybe I'll look into it.
Cool. Okay, let me get the stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for our drink today. I have a feeling it's going to be refreshing. I'm excited for that. Perfect start. Exactly what I want to see. Also, me and Sean were talking before this, and we were talking about favorite breakfast cereals. I feel like I have a bit of a controversial one, but it's called Almond Crunch. I don't know if anyone knows that, but it's my favorite breakfast cereal for sure. Vector's definitely up there too for me. And then obviously Sean mentioned Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Oof.
Ooh, that
so
stuff
good.
gets you going.
Yeah,
baby.
dog.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to Convos and Cocktails. This one's gonna be a little bit different. This isn't gonna be now. Again, every time that we do these, I'm trying to do this in a way that everyone can make this at home. This isn't something that is a professional bartender doing it right in front of you, like with professional bartending kit.
Yeah.
This is like a make it at home, do it yourself type thing that you can do easily at home. That way it's more fun. The trick to today's, if you want to get a cheap little shaker tin, we're going to use a blender bottle today. That's going to be our friend. And I did wash this before.
And I was saying to Sean before too, I feel like most people have one of these.
For sure.
It's a pretty common item. So it's nice bringing that out because it's like a bartending, like do it yourself kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I did forget a shot glass, so let me just run back.
Yeah. Fair enough. And I actually don't have shot glasses, like proper ones. These ones I think are just under 2 ounces. So essentially everything he makes is going to have to be a double. It's just the rule. So I'm looking forward to my double.
Yeah. One of my favorite things, one of my buddies, he's a bartender in Calgary, Austin Shirley. Shout out to Austin Shirley. He one of his like sayings when people come to the bar and someone asks for like a drink, he'll say, Oh, it's only we only have doubles right now. We're out of singles. Usually gets them.
That's cool.
So yeah. Okay. So this is like 2-ounce shot glass. But it's actually gonna be perfect for us because this is what we needed. Okay, so this drink is gonna be called a Cosmopolitan. Now, normally when you make a Cosmopolitan, you're gonna make it in like a martini glass or like a coupe glass. It's gonna be like a fancy glass. It's not gonna be like this. But this is the glassware that we have, so we're gonna make do with it. And I am gonna. Normally we wouldn't put ice in this, but we are gonna put ice in this.
Cool. So normally at work, how would you make this? What device would you use? Would you use like a shaker?
Yeah, like we would use. I would use a shaker, and I would use a strainer.
Yep.
To strain all the ice and the froth.
Yep.
But I'm not gonna use that today.
Yeah, makes sense. So we're instead of putting ice in the mixer, you're putting it directly in the glass.
Well, I'm gonna put the ice in here. I am going to the ice. This is because in a martini glass or a whatever glass.
Yeah.
That one of those fancier ones. It's gonna look a lot more full when I pour the Cosmo into here. But since this is such a tall glass, if I filled it up, it would only go halfway and it would look stupid. So that's why I'm putting ice in this.
Makes sense. So there's like science to it.
This is just so it looks better.
Fair.
So when we get our picture.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like drinks, like the ones that really make the top of the menu at Cactus, like the ones that are on the front of the liquor, like those ones are ones that it's the aesthetic that matters. Like you made a sick looking drink.
Totally. And what I will say is like I can't make drinks. I'm not gonna make drinks on here that are Cactus drinks per se because I don't want to give away their recipe. But what I am gonna make is drinks. All the drinks that I make on this podcast are gonna be like my variation of a drink. So it's not gonna be exactly Cactus recipe, but it's gonna be. I mean, you can only make a Cosmopolitan so many ways, so it doesn't really matter. But like, let's say I was making one of their traditional drinks. Like, I'm not gonna make that. Like, I don't want to.
No, fair enough.
Fired.
Can you imagine?
I get fired for making one of their drinks
On a pod.
No. So these all these drinks are going to be my variation of it.
Sweet.
You can follow it. Okay,
Even
so
better.
we've got enough ice in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring these back here now that you've seen it. So what we actually needed was I have triple sec, which is an orange liqueur. You can also use Cointreau. We have Smirnoff vodka. Any vodka works. Cranberry juice and lemonade. Now, this lemonade, I wanted to get a little bottle of it, but this is the only fucking thing Country Grocer had. I literally went to the guy. I was like, man, I just need a little bottle of lemonade, like one of those ones you just drink. And he's like, I don't know if we have one. I was like, all right, well, I looked your entire store and you don't have one, so I'm getting this one. Apparently, it's only 10 calories, so.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to bring these back a bit.
Nice. Get a nice camera angle there.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Get this going for you guys. Okay. So, number one, I'm going to do this since I haven't done this in a blender bottle or anything like that, I'm going to do it one at a time. I'm not going to double it up. Normally at work, I would double this batch and I would just pour it at the same time. But we're going to do it single because, well, I want to show you guys more and I don't know.
Cool. So normally if you're making 2 double Cosmopolitans, you'd actually put 4 shots in one container.
Yeah.
And then split it.
Split it up.
Makes sense. Cool. What's the most you think you could make in one shaker?
It's like hard because you get some margaritas that are like, I can make like 3 margaritas of certain ones and then it's full and I'm like, okay, I can't really get much more.
Wow.
But sometimes I can only make just a few of them, but I wouldn't go more than 3 drinks.
Have you ever filled it too much? It's like explodes.
Yeah, I mean I get sprayed all the time. Sometimes I pour it in too fast and it sprays up the side, and then when you shake it, you go like this, and it just goes all up your ear and all over your body, and it just sucks. And then you have egg whites usually all over you, so it just stains, and it just doesn't. It's not good.
No.
Okay, so we can start off with the triple sec. There's a fresh bottle. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a 1/2 ounce of triple sec. We're just gonna eyeball this shit. So since it's a 2 ounce shot glass, I'm gonna do a quarter of this. Boom. Nice. We're gonna do 1.5 ounces of vodka.
Probably a little more. Yeah, that's probably about right. Okay.
That's fine. We're doing it at home, babies.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're gonna do the same ratio with cranberry juice to lemonade.
Oh, interesting.
So 1.5 cranberry and 1/2 ounce of.
You'll hold it up to the mic when you pour it.
It wasn't as satisfying.
Everyone just took a washroom break.
Yeah.
The sound of running water.
All right. Boom.
Okay.
Now we're gonna get this bad boy on there.
Booyah.
We're gonna give it a little shake.
Let's go. I'm surprised you didn't put the little the actual ball in there.
Yeah, but I have the ice.
That's fair.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Shook it up. Let's see how this goes. Now, I'll tell you right away. I don't think I put enough cranberry juice in here.
Oh, it worked. The ice stayed in there.
Stays in there. I had a feeling.
I thought my ice cubes might have been too small.
I used my ice cubes. That I
Oh,
brought from
perfect.
home.
Heck yeah.
I knew this was gonna happen.
What's that?
I knew I needed bigger cubes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's one. We're gonna reuse these cubes. So we're gonna go back to the beginning. Now this is got to be, what is this? Because this is cranberry juice, but it is not even close to as dark as the other stuff I use at work. So normally a Cosmo is like, that's a different consistency to what I'm used to.
This is like pink instead of red, or is it normally pink?
Normally it's more pink. It's more like red. It's like darker.
Oh,
it's not red, but it's pink for sure. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna do 1.5. I'm gonna do a little bit more though.
Let's see if it changes.
Yeah, like I might even do just like a full 2 ounces. And then I doubt it though. This is like I can see right now just looking at this, it is much lighter color, so that's probably why. It's just a different.
Wait, pass me it. Let's see it.
It's just a different brand.
You don't use Ocean Spray?
I don't know what we use. All right. Now we're gonna do. We did our 1.5 to half. We're gonna do 1.5 vodka.
That's the vodka lid. I don't know where that is. Nice.
All right. And then we're gonna do 1/2 ounce of triple sec.
Perfect. This is the final one. Bang.
All right.
Shake her up. Let's go, baby.
And normally you wouldn't have ice in the glass, like I said, as for a Cosmopolitan. It would just be by itself. So this may taste a little bit more watered down than what we're used to, but
I'm excited to try this. It looks refreshing.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too.
When was the last time you made one of these? Is it a common order at work?
Yeah, it's fairly common.
Like once a shift, someone will order this?
No. I'd say once every like couple shifts.
Wow. I've never tried this. Thanks, dog.
All right. So we got our Cosmo. So ingredient list. We're going to do 1/2 ounce of lemonade, 1.5 ounces of cranberry juice. We're going to do 1/2 ounce triple sec, 1.5 of Smirnoff. And without further ado,
let's try it out.
Let's try it out.
Cheers baby.
Man.
Cheers, y'all. Much better than last time.
Yep. The one that didn't air.
Yeah, no. We had a blooper episode because we had some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
And we had, what was the drink even called?
I'm going to put a little bit more cranberry juice if you want some.
It's pretty good though, bro. Not much more. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. What was the drink from? It had Coke, milk.
Yeah, so I also fucked up the drink. It was I made a White Russian.
Ah, there you go.
And was it White Russian?
I think so. That's what you said last time.
It was White. It was White Russian.
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure it was White Russian. Anyways, I had the ratio off. I used more Coke than I was supposed to.
Yeah.
And less milk when I should have had more milk than Coke. It should be more than double the ratio. Like it should be almost a 3-to-1 ratio.
Not much Coke.
Not much Coke at all. And honestly, I think it curdled. I think that's why it was so bad.
Makes sense.
Anyways, so note to self, don't do that.
Yeah.
And you guys will never even know about it until we just talk.
We might
about
throw
it,
that clip up though, of us tasting.
Oh yeah, that would be
Just
funny.
that part. Why not make a clip? Just one of the mics didn't work, so you can't even hear me half the time. So we're like,
Can I try yours?
it is what it is. Let's see. Compare them out.
Yeah, it's good.
Hell yeah. This is nice, man. I feel like in the summer, this is what you want to be drinking.
Yep.
This and Corona
Yeah.
all summer long.
I'm gonna keep this out because I'll probably have another one of these. I don't know about you, but
It's good, man.
it's good.
Um,
Also, like the stuff we use at work, like the lemonade, is more concentrated. I can tell you that right now. This is probably
it's sweeter than this.
much sweeter.
I like this, man.
Cranberry, yeah. No, this is good. This is a good balance. It's a great balance. The triple sec really you can definitely taste the orange liqueur in there.
It
It's
comes
nice.
through, man.
Yeah.
You mentioned one thing earlier. You said there's an alternative to this.
Yeah, it's called Cointreau.
What is that?
Just another orange liqueur.
Oh, okay.
There's a few different brands. Like I don't know of how many triple secs are out there. I don't know if orange liqueur Hanks is the brand of this one, but I've only ever seen this triple sec. I've never seen another brand of triple sec. So, yeah, I don't know. Cointreau just makes their own. Maybe it's but it's not called triple sec. It's called Cointreau. So, just an orange liqueur. But yeah, this was a good purchase for today because we're gonna use this a lot. This right here is used in a lot of margaritas. I will be using this in most margaritas. So we're gonna keep this one. We're not gonna drink it. This one, always good to have vodka.
Yeah, you always want vodka. There's so many drinks with that.
Yeah. So this is also just a last minute kind of throw together. I was like, oh shit, right? I have to do a segment on making a cocktail, and I was like, fuck, what am I gonna make? And then I was like, okay, we already have vodka. I was like, we're gonna want triple sec eventually. I'll just get it.
Boom.
So
Heck yeah.
here we are.
It's a good one. I think it's my favorite so far.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Better than Moscow?
I think so. That one's good. The ginger beer, the spice is really good, but I feel like Moscow is better in winter. This is better in summer.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it.
This would be really good, like just on a hot day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. It's a nice balance. I've never had a Cosmo. I've never even tried it. This is the first time I'm trying one. So,
Yeah, me too. It's good shit.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Cool, man.
Yo, I think for today's episode, we were going to mess around with ChatGPT.
Yeah, have you guys heard about that at all? It's basically it's this AI system. Do you want to put that on the chairs behind you?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Breaking shit.
I thought you broke the Cosmo there, dog.
Hell no. Okay, I'm just gonna put some of this stuff down.
Yeah, you bet.
Less distracting.
Yeah, so ChatGPT is essentially OpenAI's language model, which basically it's trained on, I don't know, probably at least 20 years of data online. I know it caps out at 2021. I don't know how far it archives back, but it's a language model and it can form like insane responses to queries. Like you can write it like, we didn't air this episode, but 2 weeks back we went to Gabriola Island and made videos, and mine had a bunch of raps in it that that were related to the topic of the video. All of those were made. Yeah.
No way. I was like, how did they create these lyrics so fast?
Oh yeah.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah, dog. Smart.
Wow, dude. Okay, that makes way more sense. Good for you for doing that.
Yeah.
I should have fucking known, man. I was like, there's no way he came up with these lyrics. Like, who? I was like looking at your team. I was like, there's no way there's any lyricists on your team right now. I'm sorry.
Wait, why, Sean? What's wrong with our team, dog?
Come on.
Who did you bet on?
I bet on Sophie's team, bro.
No, in terms of
lyricist, I was like, you're the only lyricist maybe on there, and I was like, I know your lyrics. Like, there's no fucking way you're writing
what?
that shit.
Come on, man.
Yeah, no.
I modified them though.
Yeah, I'm sure like one word in there.
No,
That's what everyone
like
says.
4 lines, okay? At least 4 lines.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was smart to use it. Anyways, and we're going to
You
use
were.
it right now.
We're going to use it right now. So we're going to, we don't have the technology yet to show the screen. I mean, we do, but like we haven't set that up. But I will read out everything
Well,
that
you could record what you're doing right now.
I could. I'm not going to.
Okay.
You guys get to hear the story.
All right, fair
Okay,
enough.
so let's think of an example. Like, write me a. Oh, whoops! I need to type. Write me a story of a 50-word story about Sean and Kurtis's adventure podcast
Oh, I'm excited to hear this.
with a scary twist.
Oh.
So now this is a very specific thing that I've just asked this thing to create for me. Watch how fun this is, okay? Not people are starting to become known about this, but some of you will not know about this, and I'm excited for you to hear this shit. Okay. Right away, it just starts typing. Basically, I don't know if you can see this, but it just starts typing out a story. So it typed out 50 words right there. All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
50 words. Sean and Kurtis embark on a spooky adventure podcast to explore the haunted forest. Little did they know the ghostly legends they investigated were real, and they became trapped, unable to escape the wrath of the vengeful spirits. The chilling audio recordings of their screams became the final episode of their ill-fated journey. That's a 50-word. I could have gone way more. I could have said, write me a page, write me
an essay,
400 words,
Yeah.
whatever. Write me a paragraph. Let's try something else out. Give me a 65-word paragraph about why exercise
is important.
is important. I think we've used this one.
Yeah.
Exercise is important while providing 3 scholarly articles.
Citations.
All right. Exercise is crucial for maintaining physical and mental health. Regular physical activity can reduce the risk of developing chronic diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, and certain types of cancer. It can also improve mood, cognitive function, and overall quality of life. Here are 3 scholarly articles that support the importance of exercise. And it completely quotes and references the scholarly articles right there. Physical Activity and the Prevention of Chronic Disease by Haskell et al. 2007 highlights the importance of regular physical activity in preventing chronic diseases, including heart disease, diabetes, and certain types of cancer. Immediately, 3 scholarly articles that it pulled from the web. Like, this is going to be very hard for people to catch.
Impossible, actually.
Almost impossible. There is technology for it, from what I've heard. But what I've heard a life hack is for the technology that can detect AI, all you need to do is AI your AI. So basically, you get your article or whatever, you get your paper, and then you put it into Grammarly. And then Grammarly changes it into a whole nother thing, switches it completely into different sentences, more human-like sentences. And apparently that way, if you use the Grammarly, it makes it so it's
impossible.
Undetectable.
And
if you put your own twist into it, you put your personal touches into the sentences, it's good luck, universities.
No, I'll tell you one thing, though. It's still impossible. You can't prove anything, man. It's just English.
Yeah, the only way that we're going to be able to get around this, or like education system will be able to get around this, is by doing in-person testing without computers. In-person testing, in-person interviews, and you have to know the topic that you're talking about. Now, I'm not saying that like this is still going to be helpful in those circumstances. You could still do an entire presentation, entire project, whatever, using OpenAI. All you need to do now is learn the content that it just created.
I'll
know
raise
it inside
you one.
out.
I'll raise you one. Okay. How many exams do you think you've taken in your lifetime?
Exams overall, like
In-person
high
exams.
school?
Yeah. Hundreds?
Hundreds.
Okay. Out of those hundreds, what percentage of that knowledge have you retained? If you had to guess.
Yeah, like a percentage, probably like 2%.
Okay.
5%.
Okay. Now think
depending, like if you're saying basic fractions, I've definitely retained that stuff. Like there's certain, but like if you're talking about the tests, like DNA tests and Bio 12, like all this shit, no chance in hell.
Okay, so I'll give you another example. How much of the information have you retained when you were working with your dad over the summer?
Yeah, definitely a lot more in like the sense of hands-on learning. Yeah.
That's it. That's all they have to do, man.
Yeah.
You just switch to experiential learning, which is if you want to prove that you know something, show that you do it. Right? Mm-hmm. I think the education system does this. You go to your practicum.
Yeah.
Your practicum is hands-on learning, so it's a big essential part of your degree. So you're learning, then you show that you know with real hands-on activities. And most people that do it would probably argue that they learned way more in their practicum than their entire...
I bet you, yeah. One thing that I'm still tripping out about is the fact that you have to go, like, I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, okay, my buddy's going to school. He's gone to school for 4 years, got his kinesiology degree, whatever.
Yep.
But now I'm like, he wants to be a massage therapist. I'm like, okay, what? I get it's important to know human anatomy. I get that. But do you not think that you could just take a human anatomy course, apply that to massage therapy, and just get trained how to do massage therapy? Is there really that much that goes into massage therapy that you need a 4-year degree to fucking be able to
even start? Yeah.
Massage someone's fucking... What if you go through your 4 years, you get to the point where you're ready to be a masseuse, and turns out you have chronic arthritis that you didn't even know about, whatever it is. Like you the second you start your career, boom, your hands don't even work for it. You're not strong enough to do it. What if there's some sort of thing that you get to that point, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, I can't even do this job. Like, what I don't understand is why are people having to take so many steps through school and go through all this BS? Yep. I get, for example, nursing. You want to cut the people who aren't serious and who are actually like, who aren't committed to it out. Programs like that, it makes sense. But what I'm saying is these whatever degrees that you get, these Bachelor of Arts, all these things that you're getting minimum wage jobs or whatever, or you're going to a field like massage therapy, and you're going through all this BS when all you really needed to know was how to actually just do it.
I agree with you.
And I don't understand the fucking point of it.
I'll tell you one thing.
It's a money grab, man. It's a huge money grab.
I'll tell you one thing for sure. There's these long degrees, like, for example, if you want to practice medicine, if you want to become a doctor, like PhD in medicine, you have to put in the work, man. That's a long time to become that role in society. Think how important that role is in society.
Yeah.
Think how much better we'd be off if it didn't have that fucking crazy barrier to entry. Let's see, we pull it back a little bit, right? Having more doctors will be essential to providing more health care in our province. And same with nurses, man. We need a lot more. That was one thing in COVID that we got right, is that we need to respect those jobs, regardless of whatever your views on it.
Yeah.
Nursing and being a doctor, those are like very important to the function of our society. And right now, so many people don't even have family doctors, let alone like...
Dude, yeah, my doctor just said, I'm moving to a different clinic or a different hospital. I'm going to the hospital or whatever. And he's like, all right, like all my patients are, gone basically. And it's like, oh, by the way, I'm not going to have a replacement. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So I don't have a family doctor anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I did this letter in a class to I remember it was like, basically the project was you have to send a letter about something that you're passionate about, or like something that's in your life that affects you, that you need to send a letter to a politician, and basically do research on it, tell them what's going on and what you want changed. And so I did this like research on like nurses, because my mom's a nurse, so it was like a little bit like personal. And then we're going to a very scary place where we're about to have like a major nursing crisis. Like we're about to be so low on nurses, it's unbelievable. And the reason being is because we have all these baby boomers who went into nursing, who went into it obviously for like the right reasons, went it for the money, whatever. as well. But now you get a bunch of all these baby boomers are like in their 60s.
They're retiring.
They're retiring now. So now you get all these nurses that are retiring. And not only that, we're not replacing these nurses with young nurses because nursing has become a job. Yes, the money is good, but the job itself isn't what's the word? It isn't like gratifying enough. Like it's the type of job where students are coming out of nursing school and not even using their degree anymore. What they'll do is they'll come out, they're too afraid to go to full time. And because they know the second that they go full time, they're going to be working overtime hours all the time.
Yeah.
Their vacation days are going to be limited. They're not going to have vacation days a lot of the time. They're going to be overworked and stressed out, and they see the quality of life that these nurses are having right now because we have a lack of nurses and resources.
Yes.
So, baby boomers retiring. Baby boomers is a huge population of nurses.
Yep.
A lot of these people are the nurses of our society right now. Once those guys retire, we're not going to be having nurses to fill in those positions.
Well, think about this too. How many siblings does your parents have?
Yeah, like my mom has 4.
There you go.
My dad is 2.
So 3 and then 5. Or 4 and then 2.
Mm-hmm.
3 and 5?
My mom, her brother, her sister. So she has 3 siblings and then 5 total of like between my dad and my mom.
Yeah, and then it's just you and your sister, right?
Me and my sister.
So it's just me and my brother. So that generation only had 2 kids. So we halved. My grandma on my mom's side, I think it was 7 or maybe 6 or 7. And on my dad's side, it's 4.
Yeah.
Now we're down to 2. And then think about us. My grandma was already having like 3 kids by now.
Yeah.
I'm 26, bro. Think about that.
Yeah.
And I haven't had any kids yet, and I don't plan to in the next bit. So we're going to have this problem where it's getting lower and lower generations without people taking jobs.
Yeah. And it's very scary. And I wrote this letter to the... I think I wrote it, like at that point I was like, okay, I wrote the letter. I'm fucking like, I just want to send it away. I think I sent it to the Prime Minister. It's not his actual like responsibilities is directly with the funding and resources for nurses. I think it was supposed to go to like a someone in BC here. Like it's going to be more like province to province rather than for the Prime Minister. But regardless, I basically was like, these nurses need more funding. Number one, for themselves, for mental health, for their own like well-being. Number one, just to keep the nurses that are here. Now, what also needs to happen is it needs to be a more a job that is more looked at highly, like a job that people are excited to go into rather than are going into it and are worried that they're about to be overworked and not like given the resources that they needed, and they're going to be stressed out trying to have families, all these things, all these like complications that come with it. It needs to be a job that is more inspiring to be into.
I think there's 2 jobs that don't get enough credit because they're publicly funded. It's nursing and school teachers.
Yeah. A lot of people say it, and I think like for nurses, I think like, maybe they don't get paid enough. I think there's a lot of careers.
It's overworked, not getting paid.
I think they get paid
pretty
well,
decent. Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of careers out there that don't get paid enough, to be honest with you, for the shit that they have to put up with. Like if I said nurses get paid enough, I'm going to get fucking people are going to come up with me with, pitchforks.
Yeah.
But I think I'm not saying that they don't deserve more pay. I'm saying they do get paid well for what everyone else gets paid. I think there's so many different jobs that don't get paid enough. I think for what they have to put up with. But in the grand scheme of things, they get paid pretty well compared to everybody else.
Yes,
so I won't say it's the pay, but I will say it is the quality of work, the conditions that they're in, and the stress that they're under.
Yes.
Those are the things that are the problem.
It's a very stressful work environment.
Yeah.
People are doing some crazy shit every single day. And then not only that, patients die too.
Yeah.
It's like a tough work. And especially if you work in the surgeon area, you see
Emergency.
some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on that subject, paramedics too, man. My sister's a paramedic, and it's like right there too. They're so underpaid. I mean, talk about underpaid profession. That profession is so underpaid.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they have lack of resources too, and lack of paramedics. Like, something that was ridiculous is when they are on call,
Yeah.
which is a lot of their shifts,
Most of the time.
on call shifts.
Yeah.
They're getting paid like less than minimum wage. Like,
Really?
it's like they're getting paid like next to nothing.
Wow.
When they're on, I think it's like something ridiculous, like $3-4 an hour type thing. That's not even worth it. It's the second that they get a call is when and this is not coming from my sister. This is coming from just the knowledge that I know.
Yeah.
The second that they get a call out, that is when they start getting paid.
I see.
Once they're on the clock working.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: when you're on call, you can't be doing other things. You can't be out. Like, usually you're either at the station,
Yeah.
and that's when you're getting paid like dirt to pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
And you're just waiting for a call at that point. And
Yeah.
not only like are you waiting for the next 911 call, you are waiting because there's already people who are out there doing their job.
Yeah.
You're waiting for them to get called, and now you're going to get the call to be ready to go to the next call if there is one. So, they're getting paid like next to nothing when they're on call. And it's like, man, these are the people who need it. These are the people who deserve it.
Yeah.
The people, the first responders.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that's similar. Where I grew up in Cowichan, all the firefighters there are volunteer. You get paid nothing until you're called.
Yeah.
But you could be on call all day at your regular job, and you get called in, and you have to go put out a house. You're volunteer.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
It's ridiculous.
Anyways, but I do think nursing and like teachers, educators, specifically publicly funded ones in K-12, they're underfunded for what they do.
Yeah.
Or their importance to society, the ratio of pay to importance is too
exactly.
low.
Yeah. Like, they get a decent wage. I will say that. They get paid, I think they get paid a good amount of money.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's enough for what they have to put up with. I think compared to everybody else, they're making good money. They're making livable money that is,
for
you
sure.
know,
Yeah.
and they have a job that gives them, there's good benefits to this. There's a pension. There's all these things that come with being a teacher.
Oh, yeah.
But you're right. It's the importance of their role in society. They have perhaps the most important job in society. You are educating the youth that are going to be leading the future generations. Like, these are the people who matter the most. It's the future. Like, we are still the young ones coming up, and we're going to be the future, whatever. But realistically, Curtis, it's the people that are kindergarten right now to 12 that are going to be our ones that we need to be watching out for.
Yep.
Making sure are taken care of and are getting the proper education. And I'm not saying I'm not saying the education system right now is the way we need to go about this. I think there's so many, again, like I'm saying, I think there's so much BS that you are put through in elementary school and high school that is so unapplicable in everyday life. And this has been an argument for years. I'm not the only one saying this.
Yeah. I think there's too much focus on grades and exams rather than actual knowledge sharing.
Yeah, and also everyone is thrown into the same thing. Like, every kid is the same.
Yep.
Everyone's thrown into the same math class. Everyone's thrown into the same shit. But every person has their own strengths and weaknesses. Some people are going to be good at math. Some people are going to be good at other things. But why are you forcing the kids who are finding it absolutely mind-numbing to go into a pre-calculus class in order to get accepted into a university, in order to go have a job in a completely unrelated field?
Yeah.
Completely. Where have I used calculus or pre-calculus in my life since I graduated? Not a single time. The basic math that we should be teaching is percentages, learning how to add up percentages, learning how to use them. Fractions are important as well. I think they're actually important. And maybe some basic algebra. But the second we get into calculus, all these things, these are for students who are going into sciences or into engineering. This is not necessary for you to teach these fucking kids and when they just want to be outside doing something else.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Well, I feel like another thing too is students are forced to go to post-secondary right after high school. Not literally, but there's a lot of societal pressure. Yes. There's a lot of societal pressure that says that's required. And in my opinion, university is not worth your money at all if you're just going there because you're going there and you're 18.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Unless you actually know what you want to pursue and university gets you to your goals, do not do it.
Yeah.
100% not.
And I would say I would agree with that 100%, but at the same time I can't say that for myself. Like when I went to university, I started in I literally, okay, so how it worked was VIU came and did a like presentation for like all the universities basically came to my high school and did a presentation on why we should go there and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
VIU is one that stood out for me because they actually seemed like they gave a shit when they were talking. Whoever the representative was seemed like she actually cared and gave a better presentation than all the other universities, UBC, all like SFU, all these other universities.
Really?
They didn't give a presentation like VIU did.
Really?
Not even close.
Crazy.
So it's like immediately that stuck with me. And maybe that's because it's a smaller school and it's more of a community and more personal touch.
Yeah.
And maybe they're coming to the Sunshine Coast. It's a little town. They don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
UBC and SFU about these little kids, these little people.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's necessarily true, but maybe that was like they don't care as much as if they went to a high school in Vancouver.
Facts. Makes sense.
So, so when everyone was applying for universities. It seems like when you're in high school and everyone's applying for schools and they're like, oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to be a fucking marine biologist and all these things. And you're like, okay, that seems like everyone's got their shit together.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck am I going to do?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be on a coaster for life. Like when you think about it like that, when you're, it's like either you stay on the coast or you go. When you stay on the coast, usually you feel like you're stuck there for life. And it's not necessarily true. There's people, I have good friends who are still on the coast and I know that they're going to do amazing things and I respect them for their decision that they made.
Yeah.
But it's like for me, I knew if I was on the coast, I would have been stuck there and feeling like I wasn't doing anything to better myself in my life. And so I was like, okay, I need to get the hell out of here. I need to go get away from the parents. I need to get on with school. So I just decided, okay, what am I going to do? I applied to university at UVic, got accepted for a Bachelor of Arts. And then I applied at VIU for a Bachelor of Business.
Yep.
And then I was like, okay. And I got accepted for business. And I was like, well, I'm going to be an accountant. I'm going to get my CPA. I'm going to I'm going to do really well in school. And it's all going to be good. And then, sorry, I just burped into the mic. That was probably really gross. Anyways, so I came to university and started my business management. I know I could tell my parents they didn't really know if I knew what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. I just came here because everyone else was fucking leaving. I was like, okay, well, I need to go. I need to get out of here. And so that's when I came here and I started doing my accounting 100. I started doing my marketing and my management and all these things. Well, not marketing at the time, but management. And then basically it got to a point where, oh man, there's so much water in here. I just realized.
It's okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It got to a point where I was like, sorry, I'm just concentrated on making this fucking drink. I'm just going to finish this before I keep talking.
Wait, before you finish, how many people from the coast came to the island, would you say? Including you, Vic?
Like my year?
Yeah.
I'd say like 20.
Oh, decent number.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd say like
because it's a small
maybe
town.
less, but yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, all right, let's shake this bitch up.
Booyah. Hell yeah, dog. The gym shaker actually works pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad at all, man.
Not bad at all.
I'll be using this for the margs.
Could you make one in that?
Oh yeah, easy.
Don't you need shredded ice?
No.
No.
Anyway, so I came to school and I decided I was gonna do. Wait, this is 1.5. This is almost 2. Whatever. Fuck it. We're making strong ones tonight. And so I did my courses, and I ended up doing terrible in my first year. Like I did all right. I did actually decent in my first semester, but then I found friends and I found like, you know, party life and all these other things that were like fun, and I started concentrating less on what I was doing in school because I really didn't give a shit. I was like,
you weren't interested or passionate about it. Yeah.
And so I realized after my first year, I was like, oh man, I do not want to be an accountant. I don't even want to be in accounting. Like, I don't want to even be in business.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I did terrible in my second semester of first year. And then I switched into a Bachelor of Arts, which I was like, oh, well, now I'm in a Bachelor of Arts at VIU, which isn't as prestigious as UVic. So I should have just gone to UVic in the first place.
Yeah.
But then what I actually ended up doing was I volunteered at the school.
Yeah.
I got a job with the school, and it's what kept me at VIU.
Yeah.
And I did the Office of Co-Curricular Engagement and Learning.
Yeah.
And I met all these fucking amazing people. If I never did that, if I never came to school, if I never made the decision to just go out and do something new and try something new, I would be still at home. I never would have met you. We would never have this podcast, and I never would have done half the amazing shit that I've done in my life so far.
Yeah.
And all thanks to me I was lucky that I caved to society and just said, I'm going to fucking go with it. I'm going to go to school and all this shit. And I got very lucky that I ended up in the position that I'm in now.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was able to see it early, and I didn't just pursue a Bachelor of Arts with a psychology major where I'm going to come out of the degree with fucking nothing. Or I come out with a degree and then I go into my master's or my PhD, which is another 6 years of school. Yeah. At least. And so luckily I realized it early, but all I will say is if you're planning on going school is a great place to meet people.
Oh,
people
for sure. The
your
best
age.
Place.
Yeah. A great place to meet people.
Yeah.
So I would recommend going to school for that sake. But like, it also just connected me to different people, networking. It's great for networking. And it's great for finding out what you actually want to do.
Yeah.
But I would say if you don't actually know what you want to do, don't just go to school because society's pushing you to do it.
Correct.
Put yourself in these positions where maybe move away from home. Find a job somewhere else.
If you go to school, just do exploratory studies. Just take one class, two classes, work.
See what you
try to make friends.
But make friends.
Involved.
That is the biggest thing. Like the biggest thing that I got at university was making friends and networking and putting myself in more of a position of knowing what I wanted to do. I'm not saying university is what made me figure out what I want to do, but it made me come to Nanaimo. It made me come to the Vancouver Island, and it made me meet these people, which has now helped me figure out, my further steps.
Oh, facts. 100%. I feel like the number one thing to do
is shake this real quick.
Yeah, go for it. Oh yeah. The number one thing to do if you do decide to school is just try new things.
Yeah.
Like get involved with groups that you wouldn't normally do. Like let's say there's an event. Just go to the event and talk to people. See what's up.
Yep.
You never know. Like maybe there's just a simple dodgeball tourney or something. Who cares? Just head there. See if you can join a team. I guarantee you'll find friends. Guaranteed. If you put yourself in places to find them, they'll be there.
Yeah. For sure.
Cheers, dog. Run it back.
Yeah.
I didn't start school till I was 24.
There you go.
And I've always had kind of the same view on school is that basically the same conversation we were just having. Don't do it because society tells you to. Do it because it helps you reach your goals, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, it was a great decision for me because my whole social life and personal development in terms of skills that I wanted to build, school was actually the best outlet to gain those communication skills, public speaking skills, to be able to do projects like that, and then to meet amazing people. So like if that's your priority and you put yourself out there, I think school's highly valuable.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunately, a lot of people do it just cause, and they go there and go home. And
yeah, I feel like they wasted money, wasted time.
If you're doing it for a piece of paper and only a piece of paper, just leave. There's no point, man.
Yeah.
If you're doing it to reach your goals, you're doing something right.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. There's certain degrees that I think are very important that you need. Like education degree is a good one to have.
Nursing,
engineering. I feel like you need to, you need to know math. You need to know these.
Engineering is actually like this. It depends on the type. Yeah.
It depends on the type for sure.
If you want to like
computer engineering would be totally different.
You can teach yourself. I taught myself it, to be honest. But if you want to be an engineer where you're building houses,
civil engineer,
that kind of stuff. Engineer. That's school is useful. Math is big in those fields, right?
Yeah.
It's essential. So, yeah, it really, really depends on your field and your passions. But usually the people that choose those jobs, it's helping them reach their goals, right?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I think if anyone ever listens out there and is like in a spot similar to where I was 4 years ago, go with your gut. Kind of, if you think that school is the best place for you, but I don't want you to come out in 4 years or even 2 years or 3 years and realize, holy shit, like I just did this because everyone else was doing it. Society was telling me, you do not need a degree to make it in this life. There are many things that you can do without a degree. And honestly, the best thing that you can do is not work for anyone else, work for yourself. I think that is one of the best things that you could possibly do is like, that way you're calling the shots. You get to be creative. You get to be the one who is making these decisions for yourself. Yeah. And I think it's great to have a start learning from people, learning from, mentors and bosses. And I think like you need to learn somewhere, right? You can't just learn it all on your own, but putting yourself in a position where you can make your own decisions, be your own boss, I feel like is the ideal situation to be in.
100%.
Working together with these close friends.
Yep.
But I would say like don't just let society push you in a way of like you need a university or college degree in order to get what you want out of life. And if you don't get it, you're going to be a failure. When people ask you, one of the biggest things that pisses me off, not even pisses me off, I get why people say it, but frustrating is like one of the biggest things at work that I get all the time is, oh, like, are you in school here? Like, and I get it. Like, that's fine. Yeah. Ask me that question. Sure. Whatever. I can't get mad at that, but so many people like just expect it at this point. It's like, if you're not in school, what are you doing? Like even people that you see back at home or even people just like, family member, whatever it is, there's this like pressure of like society as a whole of coming from internally in your own family, all the way outwards to friends, all the way outwards to old teachers, all the way outwards to everywhere. Yeah. And I can see 100% why kids are like, oh, like everyone asks me, am I going to school? And then the second that you say like, oh, I'm taking a gap year, it's like people almost are like, oh, okay. Yeah. Well, good for you. And it's like this almost like, and I never actually really did take a gap year, but I can tell you right now, like those kids who did and got those reactions, it's not a fucking good feeling.
Yeah. Like, honestly, gap year is underrated because a lot of the time it allows people to basically adjust. Yeah. And take a look at themselves and figure out what they're actually passionate about and then reallocate that their first 2 years, those credits are now applied as partly electives and then hopefully partly. Mm-hmm. So now you haven't completed all your degree required courses, but at least you have a lot of elective credits. Yeah. So you can still complete your degree once you decide on your passion. If a degree is even required, you can just be like, nah, I'll just get my diploma and call it a day. What it allows you to do is go try things, figure out what you're passionate about, and then you can come back and finish. There's nothing wrong with a gap year. Yeah. The societal view that it's like someone should be judged because they're dropping out. Yeah. We have to eliminate that because 100%. The more people getting educated to be workers, the better. Mm-hmm.
We need more workers.
Yes.
The more people
the more people coming out of university that aren't able to work in the workforce in their field, for me, that's worse.
Yeah, 100%. The only thing I will say about a gap year is like a lot of people take a gap year it depends. You have to have an intention for your gap year. Your gap year can't just be like, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to not do anything at all. I'm just or I'm going to work and that's it.
I'll figure it out.
You need to have intentions with your gap year. Like, if you're going to have a gap year, you need to say, okay, am I doing it for financial? Am I trying to save up so that I can go to school, let's say, and not necessarily just go to school, but travel or, move somewhere else that you really want to go.
Yep.
Like, because the second you turn 18 and get out of high school and you're no longer on your parents' wing, you're your own person. At that point, you're your own person. You get to make your own decisions.
Figure it out.
So you got to figure it out. So what do you really want to do?
Yeah.
What do you think is going to give you the best opportunities to become the best person, the best version of yourself? So number one, you need to figure out, okay, why am I taking this gap year? Am I doing it financially? Am I saving up for something? Don't just save up. Save up for something. You can't just save up and just hope that one day you're going to find something and, great place to put my money. Save up for something. Figure out what it is that you do want to do. And I'm not saying in your life. I'm not saying in your career. That's not going to necessarily happen within the first year. Some people it might. But you need to have an intention of doing something.
Yeah, save with some purpose.
Save with purpose.
Yeah.
And that's where you need to figure it out.
Yeah.
Number two, let's say you do say, I'm going to work, I'm going to take a year off. Now you need to start experiencing things. You can't just take a year off and expect that it's going to come. There's no chance in hell you're going to come to the next year and you're going to be in the exact same spot you were last year
100%.
because you didn't experience anything new. So you need to put yourself in positions where you're gonna find new hobbies, find new interests, find people that you love, find these things in your life where, okay, maybe I can take this and run with it.
What does it come down to? Experiential learning, man. It doesn't matter if you're getting formal education. If you're going to try things out with a goal,
Totally.
You're learning, man. It's still learning. That's why gap years are, when they're done in this capacity, it's a misnorm to think that it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because you're actually learning in a different capacity. You have a goal and you're working to achieve your goal.
Yeah.
If you're just taking a gap year because you want to be lazy for a year, different story.
Yeah.
But
and like, who's to say that person's wrong for doing that? That's gonna be, those people who are genuinely just lazy and don't want to do anything and they want to take a gap year and just live at home and whatever.
Yeah.
That's their own law. They're gonna do their own thing, and that's them regardless.
Yep.
What we're saying right now does not apply to those people.
Yeah.
Because they are gonna do that regardless.
Yeah.
It's for the people who are stuck
Yep.
or feel like they don't know what's going on or feel like they're in a position where everyone else has it figured out, but they don't. Like, trust me right now. Like, I can tell you right now, Kurtis and I both probably were in situations that feel the exact same way. Like, we did not know. We just went with it. And I got lucky to be in the position that I'm in, working where I am. But I want to say it was luck, but I want to also say
it's not luck, bro.
A lot of it was because of the
you made choices.
The choices I made, and also the opportunities that I took.
Yeah.
I didn't just sit around in first year and do nothing. I went out there and I was doing new events. I was volunteering. I was, making friends, getting jobs, talking to people, networking. Now when I walk through the campus, I will be surprised if I'm not talking to multiple people on my way through campus.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people now just through the jobs I've had, through whether it's a Cactus, intramurals, whatever.
Going to class even.
Going to classes.
Yeah.
Like, you just recognize people and it's really cool. But yeah, like, if you're not putting yourself out there and doing these new experiences and just putting yourself in social settings, putting yourself out of your comfort zone, number one, everyone says it. And every time
actually doing it.
And every time you hear it, you might think like, oh man, like, I don't want to be uncomfortable. Who wants to do that? But like, realistically, if you don't at least just take that chance to become a little bit uncomfortable and go into these social settings, let's say you have social anxiety or whatever is going on, if you don't take a little bit of a chance and let yourself be uncomfortable, which is human nature, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You're really not going to find anything new, and you're not going to be able to find your passions and why you're here. You're going to be stuck in this one spot.
100%.
It's saying yes to those opportunities. When someone says, I want to go out tonight, like, go to whatever it is.
Yeah.
Even go curling, for example. Like, something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, all the curlers out
Bro,
there.
I'll defend you here. I would not exist without the sport of curling. That's literally how my parents met.
Well, there you go.
So
it's like, there's so
curling.
many things.
It works, man.
There's so many random things that you just need to say yes to and go with it. Stop being a social fucking whatever. Just an antisocial fuck. Just put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And go with it. And it'll take you good places. And I'm 22 years old, and I'm like, I can honestly say, like, I feel like I've done a lot more things and I've been very fortunate than a lot of other 22-year-olds because I've just been able to put myself in a position to just be uncomfortable, make new friends, network, do a broad spectrum of things. And now I've found a few things that I do like and what I'm passionate about. And so now we're here.
Yep.
And I'm able to tell people about this.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And you were like smart enough to think about what you actually wanted to pursue rather than just going down the path of that business degree with your accounting.
I cut it early.
Yeah. Some people just don't ignore those feelings and they just plow through.
Yeah.
And then they end up with a degree and they have a kid and they have a midlife crisis when they're 45. Right?
Yeah. You can't ignore those feelings.
Yep.
I'm not saying there's not going to be sacrifice. There's going to be hard work. And
Please, it's hard work for sure.
To do things.
Yeah.
But like if you genuinely have a gut feeling that this is not what you're meant to be doing or you don't enjoy what you're doing,
yes,
you're not going to enjoy testing. I'm not saying you're going to enjoy the exams and shit. But what I'm saying is like if you're not genuinely interested in what the field that you're going into or whatever you're doing, get the hell out of there. Mm-hmm. Because realistically, man, you got very, very limited time here.
Yeah.
So why are you wasting this precious time on things that you don't want to be doing, things that you don't want to pursue?
Yeah. Well, think about it this way. If it's something you don't think about the first few hours when you wake up on a weekend, you probably don't want to be doing it, right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm doing a project, man, and I'm passionate about it, I'm actually thinking about that so much. Mm-hmm. Like it's constantly, I'm like, oh, how can I change this, make it better? Like, how can I improve? Like if I'm passionate about something and I'm pursuing it, I'm always thinking about it pretty much until I sleep.
Yeah.
And then I wake up, do my thing. I mean, you obviously chill and do your own things here and there, but majority of my time, and how often am I thinking about my research methods class I'm in right now?
Yeah. Fucking
0%. Only when I'm in the class and either doing an assignment for it. That's it. I don't care about it outside of that. If that was my degree, I'm telling you right now, it's the wrong thing for me. Why would I do that? Right?
Totally. Yeah, like even like the place I work, I really enjoy going to work. I'm like, okay, I like when I go to work, I don't never dread it. That's the thing. Maybe the odd time if I'm hungover, if I'm like, whatever. But I'm never dreading going to work. I'm never like, fuck, I got to work today. Like this sucks. If you find yourself in that position, get the fuck out of there. I don't care what it is. I don't care what kind of sacrifice you're making to, if you're trying to make money to, save up for school, but you're in this miserable job and it's good pay. But man, like what happens if you get in a fucking car accident tomorrow and you come out a different person and now you can no longer do the things that you're used to, and your entire life that you were living and the last year of your life was just miserable. Like, do you really want that? Like, look at yourself in the mirror and think that, like, is that what you really want?
Yeah.
No. Find something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And maybe you're not going to get that job right away or whatever, but find a way to get paid to do it. I'm still figuring out, I don't have shit figured out yet, but I have been able to put myself into a path where I'm going to be hopefully financially stable enough soon to be able to pursue whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
But also I'm enjoying what I'm doing while I'm doing it. So I don't go to work and I'm dreading it. I'm actually happy to be there. Yeah. So it's like, you got to find the balance.
Wait, Sean, I want to ask you a question. Yeah. I thought about this the other day. Do you ever remember when you were a kid, did you ever imagine what your like dream life would be?
My dream life.
Like,
man, yeah. I don't know.
Do you ever remember like, oh shit, I wish I could afford to buy that PC so I could play games at high graphics? As a kid, do you ever remember that? Or like, oh, I wish I could afford to go buy this movie ticket, or I wish I could afford to buy the new Wii.
Yeah.
Or like, and you're like, oh, I'd be so much better off if I just had my own car, had my own place,
totally,
had the money to buy a gaming console.
Yeah.
Bro, we've far surpassed that, and now we're all only chasing more. So don't you think that there's some human psychology to escape the mindset of, if I have this, then I'll be happy, to like, actually what I'm doing right now is fucking crazy.
Yeah. Like, I'm satisfied. I'm happy with what I'm doing right now.
But with that mindset, you're also pursuing your goals.
Yeah, exactly.
So if financial success comes with those goals, that's fantastic. But you have to remember that childhood in the back of you that was thinking, holy, I wish I could afford to buy that. Or like, you already have those things.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can go home and game Fortnite all day long tomorrow if you wanted to.
I could.
Yeah. But you're not gonna. That's my point.
Yeah.
Is that you have to remember that child in the back of you sometimes and just be like, hey, I'm already there.
Totally. Yeah. Humbles you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I don't know. I kind of want to... What time is it here? It's 11:41. I don't even know how long we've been talking for, but...
I don't know. We can end her here.
No, I want to just leave it on a good note.
Yeah. Like, I think that was a really good conversation. I think that's just something that has been on my mind for a while. Mm-hmm. And I remember feeling some of these pressures when I was a kid, especially around like ages like 13, 14, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think that's a good one to end on. I think today was awesome.
Totally.
We had some awesome talk.
It's also like, I mean, being vulnerable too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I right there, that was not something that I just talk about with everybody.
Yeah.
So it's just like one thing that I will say also on top of everything that we just said is like, you need to also learn how to just be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And like, you need to just trust people.
Yeah.
A lot more than you do right now.
Yeah.
If you can be vulnerable and trust people and, you know, be smart about it.
Yeah.
But if you're not vulnerable, you're never going to open those doors. You're never going to bring down those walls and let people in. You're never going to make those friends and those connections that you really want.
Yeah.
So like, definitely like, just learn how to be vulnerable.
Yeah. Love yourself. Love your friends.
Yeah.
Do that first and your goals will come.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. I think on that note, we end it.
Cheers, dog.
Cheers to that.
Episode 3 in the books. We'll see you all next week, probably Wednesday.
On Island Time, baby.
Peace.